The following podcast is being brought to you by the DefyLife Podcast Network.
On today's episode of Anything, Everything, and Nothing with Lynn and Kim, the ladies are down one due to a loss in their family, and the producer steps in. They have a special guest on, Simba from the Diagnosis Podcast, a brand new podcast to the DefyLife Podcast Network. Lynn recaps her birthday turn up that ends with a turn down. They discuss the boy at Cardinal Newman who was expelled, the trend of mass shootings, and the chickens roaming free now. They tackle the topic of depression in young black males, and of course, the ever so popular, this ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Enjoy the show.
They talk about anything, everything, and nothing. Talk about anything, everything, and nothing. You rockin' with Lynn, you rockin' with Kim. They go back and forth on different topics, they get it in. They talk about anything, everything, and nothing. It's the podcast. Oh wow! What's up?
Welcome to episode 40 of Anything, Everything, and Nothing with Lynn and Kim.
Brought to you by GoDefyLife.com.
And as you can hear, that is not Kim. But anyway.
Oh, Lord.
Please listen to us. Visit our website at www.godefylife.com, where you can listen to the podcast. You can also hear us on iTunes, Radio Tunes, Spreaker.
How can I say it? Spreaker.
And, oh Lord, see, you just made me
Google
blank.
Play.
And iHeartRadio.
There you go.
Mess me up.
I did not mess you up.
When you bring men on.
What?
Then
No.
I'm outnumbered.
I feel. No. We're not going to talk about it, I guess, like that now. Okay. So as you can hear, I am here in place of, and for those who don't know, this is Yusuf from the Relationship Status Podcast.
And the Stallion English.
And Coach English from the Stallion English Show. And for those people that listen to me every now and then on the Defy Life Podcast, there's Yosh.
He's everywhere.
I am everywhere. I guess that's, when you wear many hats at the company, that's what you got to do sometimes.
I guess. Where's Kim?
Kim
I miss Kim.
Condolences are just a little moment of silence for Kim. She's at
Funeral for Roz's brother.
He
passed away earlier this week. And
yeah, so we want to give a moment of silence.
yes. Our condolences, Roz. We love you.
Love you. All right. So we're gonna get into the check-in, Lynn.
Mm-hmm.
What you mean? I don't know. You usually start the check-in, so we're keeping things.
I am completely off.
We are keeping things the way that it is usually done.
Okay, but I'm completely off. I miss my sister, Kim.
And
okay.
For all the listeners out there, those are fake tears.
They are
fake tears.
Oh my God, where's my sister? Okay. So checking in. Hello. Checking in on the back end of turning 40, waking up 40 last weekend.
Yo.
Don't do that.
Yo, listen, listeners, please. Lynn, how'd your night end the other night? How did your birthday night end? That should be in the check-in.
It ended wonderfully.
That should be in the check-in. Come on, you got to update the people.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not going to put the picture out there, obviously. Mm-hmm. Only people who I sent it to have seen it. But it ended probably like a lot of 20-year-old birthday parties end. Because I guess I thought I was turning 20 and not 40. But it did end face down on the ground in front of Nicole's mom's house.
Shouts out to Nicole.
Always.
For cleaning up her mama's yard because you threw up in the yard. So shouts out.
Yard, yes. I'm just getting my voice back.
Yeah, that's what happens when you throw up profusely for a day. You lose your voice.
So, needless to say, there was a little bit of turn up on that
ain't
40th birthday.
There ain't no little about that turn up. I tell you that. Ain't nothing little about that turn up.
A little bit.
You sound like you went to like you was on The Hangover. Woke up, there was a baby in the bathroom, a jungle cat in the bathroom,
a baby in the closet.
Exactly. And you couldn't find Kim.
That's exactly what it looked like. Exactly. That is exactly what it was like. The Hangover, for real. But I'm done with that.
Okay.
40th birthday, I'm done. I hadn't had a moment like that in 14 years. The last time was 2005 Essence Festival. Shout out to Sean, Tiffany, Nikki. Y'all remember. And so it's been 14 years, and it'll be never again. Because by the time I do it again, I'll be way too old for that. It'll probably kill me.
No, you're never too old.
Boy.
They got that song, Get Fucked Up, Get Fucked Up, Get Fucked Up. That was
good
you?
Without it.
That was you?
I'm good without it. I am good without it.
All right, well, now what else in your check-in, Lynn? What else happened to you this week?
A lot.
Why
would you ask me like that and you know?
But the people don't know. You got to be talking to me like you talking to Kim. Like, I'm Kim. Hold on, does it help? Hey, Lynn.
No, not at all. She don't sound nothing like that.
I am here with you in spirit.
No. Never mind. So, my car died.
We got to bury it. We need to have a funeral. But I don't know how much you're grieving because you didn't want to have that car no more.
Well, no. See, don't do that. That's probably why it's dead.
That's probably why it's dead.
Because I did say out loud, I'm sick of... And Kim was like, no, don't say that. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I guess she was like, I'm out.
I am out. F this, I am out.
She's out, and I'm out of a car.
And
I can't walk from Sumter to Columbia, so something's going to have to be done about that.
No, not for long.
Okay.
There is a plan in place with everything. You should have a plan.
Yes.
So you have a plan in place, so it's now just to execute the plan.
Right, with a miracle.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a miracle. You just got to execute the plan.
Okay.
All right, what else? Is that about it?
That's about it.
And then work and churn?
Work and churn, always.
Work and churn.
Work and churn.
Well, working child.
Working one child.
Working child.
Don't try to be taking credit for that.
I'm not taking credit for anything.
I did see both of their faces this week. So don't do that.
So work and churn?
Always work and churn.
Okay.
All three of them.
Okay.
But the first one was pretty helpful with this whole situation. I was able to rely on him to get me from A to B with some of that teenagerish, Mom, you know I got to, and I ain't know I was going to have to. And I was like, look.
Well, you know
why?
You know it's his life more important right now.
Always. Mom, but then I turn around and be like, but Mom, you know I got you.
Yeah.
He got the first person and then be like, oh, you know I got you, Mom.
No, I got you. He's a good kid, man. Shouts out to CJ.
Yeah.
Shouts out to CJ, man. Appreciate you coming through on that. All right, is it my turn? Do I get a turn?
You get a turn.
I don't. I do so much. Like, I have no clue what I did this week.
Do I need to tell you?
No. I went for a referral for a colonoscopy.
I'm sorry. I was hoping we were going to be able to actually talk about the experience.
What you talking about? When they check you talking about with the prostate check or the?
No, the colonoscopy.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know you weren't having it yesterday.
No, I wasn't.
I was looking forward to getting some details.
That's not funny. It's my health we're talking about.
I might have to have one too. So
yeah. So I mean, they found polyps in my dad's colonoscopy. So he called me, I guess, as soon as he became lucid, and was like, "Go get checked. They found polyps." Oh, geez. And so,
welcome to 40.
Welcome to fucking 40. Fucking 40.
Damn it.
Fuck 40.
Right.
But the prostate exam was a lot more funny. I was getting my physical done, and it was way more humorous. I was getting my physical done, and my doctor, I love Dr. Daniels. Shouts out to Dr. Daniels because he's a funny dude. So he finishes doing all the little vital checks and this, that, and the third, and he says, take down your pants and put your elbows on the table. So, excuse me? So I turned to look at him, and because what the fuck is going? What are we doing? What is going? Like, nobody prepped me. I didn't have no dinner. Like, there was no drinks. It was just go ahead, put your elbows on the table, pull your pants down. And I was disturbed because when I looked at him and said, "What?" He had done put his glove on, was lubing the damn fingers up. I was like, "What the hell is going on here?"
You're like, sir. Okay,
So, of course, I did it, and then it is the most uncomfortable, weirdest experience that anybody can have. But I do say, black men, we don't really do health real well. We don't go to the doctor. We don't
but
do
you
that.
do.
I was like, we don't.
I know, but you do.
I know I do.
Why?
I said,
why though? Why?
because I have to.
No,
I don't have a
that ain't
choice.
why.
Because people will shoot me if I don't go to the doctor.
Because you make me.
Because you make me? Okay, yeah. If that's what you want to believe, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. I'm healthy. That's all we need to know. But that experience was weird. And then it's like cough or something else.
Yeah.
And then like 2 seconds later, you get a snap of the snap of the glove, and it's like over. And I was like, damn, you ain't even gonna tell me good night?
Give me a kiss.
Something. I need something to make this experience something.
Oh, thank God for womanness. I don't have a prostate.
It's very strange. Very strange.
Although we get violated as well.
Well, I mean, for y'all, a violation for y'all ain't nothing out of the norm. I mean, shoot, any random sexual act is a violation. So,
yes.
At some point you got to be used to it. Yeah. So, but anyway, I know that our guest, we have a very special guest.
All right.
Well, then again, I will say, as he says on his podcast, there are no such things as special guests because all of our guests are special.
Is that what he says?
That's what he says. I believe that's what he says. Did you just say that's corny? That is not corny.
It is.
I don't think that's corny.
All of our guests are not special.
So I'm not special?
No.
You suck for that. You kiss my ass.
I'm just kidding.
For that.
That's not corny.
It's actually cool. It's actually cool. Very dope podcast that has joined the DefyLife Podcast Network. Right. His show will be starting on September the 5th would be the first day that the show will be available on the network. And we are super excited. But then again, I don't think we're more excited than him because all over his Instagram page, he went DefyLife nuts.
He went DefyLife nuts?
He went DefyLife nuts on his Instagram page.
But
introducing the great from the Best Medicine Podcast, our man Simba.
All right.
Yeah, what's going on, yeah?
Ain't nothing much.
Man.
Hope we didn't bore you to death just now.
Nah, I'm sitting here dying.
That is the point. That's what I need you to do. Die.
hey, if your guest ain't special, you need some better guests.
I know, right?
See, that's a shot. Shots fired at you, man.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah, you got shot now.
All our guests are special.
All of the guests are special.
They are.
So Simba, tell our listeners. Now we will get into your show a little bit later in the podcast, but for right now, just tell them a little bit about you personally, and then give us a little check-in. How was your week?
Yeah.
Oh man, Simba roared back in this thing one more time, bro. For me, this week was kind of a weird situation. I work at a summer camp.
I've done that.
Yeah, I love it. I work with the middle schoolers. So they give me all the attitude, they give me all the hate, but they love me so much, and it's funny to watch them like actively try to hate me when they know that they love me.
You should be able to relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just especially like the girls, they're like in that age now, that 12, 13, where I don't want to like anything. I hate everything. I'm gonna be just cynical.
Right.
So it's just funny to me because like they'll tell my supervisors like, "Oh, I hate Simba." He was like, "Why?" He was like, "Because all he does is sing all day." He was like, "Oh, you love him." Like, no,
they don't have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what about the Simba jokes? I know you get them.
Oh yeah, it's the cutest from the babies though.
Oh, I bet.
They're like, "Hi, Simba." I was like, "Hey, what's going on, guys?"
You need to wear a lion suit one day.
No. What are you doing?
Wear a lion suit
for the kids.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm sorry.
I'm good off the lion suit.
But wait,
I have locks, so that's my main.
Oh, there you go. See, that works. Okay, now is that your government name? I mean, I just need to know. That's the government name.
That's my government name as far as you know.
Yeah, there we go. That's all
we ain't got to tell nobody. I just want to know. I just want to know, did your mama name you Simba?
My mama loves me.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
That's like when she be trying to put me out about my middle name.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Don't be trying to put me out in front of people.
It ain't for everybody to know.
Well, I mean, I'm just wondering because, like, I could get it if you were born back in when the movie come out, 94.
94.
Were you born in 94? 91?
No, I was born 91. Yeah.
Dang, that's before the movie came out.
Yeah.
You know, Simba only means lion.
Oh, is that what that mean?
It's a Swahili word for lion. Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to. Like I knew.
Why
that.
would I know that?
Like I knew that.
Actually,
Whatever.
all the names of the Lion King characters are actual Swahili names.
Okay, well now I can understand that. You know, I get
Right.
Mufasa, Sarabi, Nala. Yeah.
Oh, you know
But
all the
Simba-
names?
Yeah.
Nala means friend. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
See, this is one of those moments she needs Kim to go with her on that.
Wait a minute. Scar is not a Swahili name.
That's why he was an outcast.
That's why
Okay.
okay, well there we go.
Anyway, let's see. Rafiki. Who else we had?
He is a teacher, I believe,
Okay, and then that makes sense.
or guidance or something like that.
That makes sense. And then the bird. What's the bird name?
Zazu. Is, Watcher or something
Makes
like that.
sense. Okay, so
I
they
can't
named
remember.
everybody after kind of what their role was.
Exactly.
I love it.
Man, getting deep.
I love it.
Best Man Pod brought some.
King is a really deep movie.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, I will say that it is a very deep movie. It is a very deep movie. It's actually very sad.
Did
too.
you see the one that's out now? Simba?
I wish I hadn't.
Oh. Why?
They took all of the best parts out.
They kind of did. And then they added a part. That's why I asked you. You see
It
where
was
they
all
added
unnecessary.
Scar asking Sarabi to be his wife? Like, where did that come from?
It was wild. Yeah,
That didn't happen?
Yeah, the I don't want my fantastical movies in real life. It just I don't.
Yeah.
There's talking lions. I don't need it to be in real life. Okay, I get it.
And you know, I honestly thought that when they were first talking about it, that the lions, because some part of that had to be computer generated, obviously. I
All of
thought
it.
they were just going to be kind of telling a story with some real lions, but now I'm like, well, were they all really computer generated?
Everything you saw except for like a couple of things were all created on the computer.
Oh,
The movie, like visually, is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It looked like watching Planet Earth.
yeah.
I
can
bet
agree with that.
I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I just from what I've heard, I was told that some of the emotion was taken out of the movie.
All of the emotion.
with the realism of the actual lines. There was no. You really couldn't see like the emotion that you get animated.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did not
Not at all.
get from. You didn't get that feeling,
No.
that
Well,
overwhelming
yeah.
feeling that you felt.
And you can't. So something like a Little Mermaid and a Mulan might be different because
Well, it's human.
people.
Yeah, it's human.
Yeah, so you're
Exactly.
gonna get. I am anxious to see those.
Yeah,
Wow.
Mulan is actually a real story. So they're just
Yeah.
taking all the fantastical versions of the Disney version and just making it into that real story. But the thing about The Lion King, about the emotion, Simba watched his father die, ran over to him, found his dead carcass, and started to cry. Face never moved.
Right.
That's like because
Exactly.
no matter what you do with a computer, I don't think you can superimpose
You
that.
can't do that.
You just can't. You can't make it happen.
But
like
you
I
can
just
do it with a cartoon.
and it was just like I remember that moment as a kid,
Sad.
It's so awful.
and I was a junior in high school going.
Oh, it's so awful. Listen, Sean,
God damn it!
in this one, Sean was sitting next to me boo-hooing. Simba, Sean is my cousin. She was sitting next to me boo-hooing in this one. I mean, I didn't cry as much as I did in the cartoon one.
I mean,
she was boo-hooing.
you cry when a
Oh,
roach dies.
stop it. I don't. 'Cause I hate them bastards.
I mean, you cry. Period. Like
Roaches are people too.
No, they're not. They are vermin.
well, I mean, I just didn't feel the overwhelming want and need to go see that. Like I just felt like
save your money.
yeah, I just felt like it was. I could catch it on my box. I could catch it on the Amazon box when it come out. Like I'll wait for it.
Yeah.
There's certain things I think you need to go to the movie theater, and like I guess to your point, Simba, maybe I would have gone to see the scenery.
Yeah.
Because I will feel like I missed out on that. But other than that, I don't think I'm really too much missing
You
anything.
definitely didn't miss your son in my lap the entire time.
Well, I mean, hey, you took them. Thank you for taking them.
Shut up.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, Simba. You just gonna have to deal. Dynamics are what they are.
Well,
what is it called? I'm Zazu right now. I'm the watcher.
Okay, so finish your week because we totally went off on a Lion King tangent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's accurate.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, that's all it really was this week. I had a couple events. I'm a photographer as well, so I go out and to different events and film. I have a couple of different residencies. One with a company, a group called Speak On It, and it's a spoken word event every Wednesday night in downtown Oakland, and it's just fire breathing dragons just get up on the mic and then just let loose every Wednesday. It's beautiful in there.
Oh wow!
Hey man, Simba, we've been here at the DefyLife Podcast Network. We have been throwing around and tossing around the idea of a spoken word podcast.
Oh wow!
I didn't know if you might know a couple of spoken word people. And we'll talk a little bit off air about that, man, because we've been because if you look out there, there's really no spoken word podcast.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, so we're tossing it around, and when we get a little bit, we might want to bring you in on that. So,
60% of my friends are artists.
Okay, well that's good.
Well, that's awesome.
Well, we definitely got to bring you in on that then.
Love it.
But anything else on the check-in?
Nah, that's good. That's good. We went out last night or Thursday night, and we was for my homie's a DJ, so he DJ'd at this party. It's 1 o'clock roll around. We're talking about, all right, what's the next move? I'm trying to go home. I didn't even want to go out. I'm young old.
Right, young old. I like that.
We to the house. So it's 1 o'clock roll around. My OG homegirl was like, yo, let's stay out. I'm like, So we go to a hookah bar. Hookah bar's closed. Cool. I get to go home. Go back to the spot to say goodbye again. My homie who's driving, he's like, all right, bro, I'm about to go inside, use the bathroom, and come right back out. That took 45 minutes.
Oh.
So now 2:30 is rolling around, and I finally go inside. I'm like, bro, you got lost? Did you fall in? What's going on? he near chopping it up, and so now my OG homegirl is saying, oh, well, we're going to the studio. Who's going to the studio? Who? Why? Who?
I want to go to bed.
I didn't want to go to sleep. So I'm like, all right. So we go to the studio. We're in the studio. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful situation. We celebrating, his birthday and stuff like that. And, it's just a really good... I'm glad I went. But also, I had to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
So we didn't get home till like 4:30 in the morning.
Oh no. We can't do that.
Yeah, no, that's not what
So needless to say, when I got home last night, I got home around like 6:30 last night, from work and everything like that. I was in bed at 8.
Yeah.
I woke up today, this morning.
I woke up today.
Yeah, I was done.
I know that's right.
Yes, I am old young for anybody that wants to know.
Hey, listen, ain't nothing out there in them streets anyway.
Nah.
Man,
Trouble.
nothing.
Ain't nothing but trouble out there in them streets. My grandma said ain't nothing open after midnight but legs and Waffle House.
Oh.
Yeah, my grandpa say, what you doing out there in that night air?
Right. In that night air.
That night air.
I love it.
That's a good one. I gotta use that. I'm gonna use that one. I just stole that from you. I just stole that. But we're going to go ahead and move on a little bit. We're going to go ahead and get into the AEN in the news.
All right.
Why?
Because it's what's important to us, and we don't care if it's important to you.
So?
AEN in the news and entertainment.
You're supposed to say, and listen anyway.
Oh, listen anyway. I'm sorry. See, I'm off. I'm off.
Suck.
Kim. Where's my Kim?
All right, so
I'm mad you know what I'm supposed to say. And I don't.
Simba, don't laugh at her foolishness. Do not laugh. This is her show, and I'm over here.
Yes, completely off. Like, this ain't the face I look at. This not no voice I hear. This is not my sister.
I'm gonna get a picture of Kim and staple it to my forehead.
That's what I was about to say. Great minds, man.
Oh, and then I'm outnumbered with testosterone. This is not normal. This is not normal.
I told you. But let's get into our first which one you
story?
The first news story. So, South Carolina high school student from Cardinal Newman private school here in South Carolina. It's in Columbia, South Carolina. He's from an elite political family, and he was expelled, arrested following some racist video. So, for the people who have not heard it, we're going to go ahead and we're going to listen to it right now, real quick.
I'm Parker Mushroom, and I hate black people. They're the worst. They're stinky, and they just suck. They're just bad people. If you notice over there is a box of Jordans. The favorite pair of shoes for a black man. I'm going to show you what I think of a black man. Fuck all niggers. Hey, it's me again, Parker Mushin, hater of all black men. Look over here. It seems that our nigger hasn't quite learned his lesson yet. Seems like he needs 25 rounds to the dome. I don't think that was enough.
Wow.
Thank you very much for watching my PSA. Fuck all niggers.
Fuck you too. Oh my God.
Shit. For those that didn't hear, Lynn said, fuck you too. Simba. Let's start with you, Simba.
Yeah. Had you heard about this?
Well, I sent him the file yesterday.
Right.
Last night. I think he had a chance to read it. Well, what is your thoughts from hearing the actual thing after reading the article?
That nigga's wildin'. What is wrong with bruh? Yo, so what you sent me was the news report.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reading it. I'm like, okay. But that video?
Yes.
See, we live. He's a high school student.
Yes.
So we live in, especially for people under 18, 21, their goal is to go viral.
Mm-hmm.
So beyond the racist shit, you're doing this shit just to get famous.
Right.
And that in itself is a problem. And then on top of that, you add it with what they're already doing is dividing the country. It's like you want to feed into the bullshit.
Right.
To get famous.
Well, let me tell you something, Selma. You're not from down here, so you might not know. This
I don't.
private school, Cardinal Newman, is majority white.
Okay.
As Kim would say, she was like, they only got 12 black people. Which might be true.
Right.
And that's the history of it. Like, my best friend went there. I almost went there. I have a lot of other friends that went there. Kim's brother went there. Mm. And there's a story about that, too, that I'll let her tell because it ain't my story to tell. But it's a school, like, he's not in school with this large population of black kids.
Right.
So I just feel like, and now mind you, the word on the street is Lindsey Graham is who his politician family member is.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's his grandfather or something.
Yep.
So that's a hot mess. And I just don't, I mean, I guess obviously that the kid is 16 years old. So obviously he's feeding into rhetoric from news outlets, from 45, and probably from his own house. Because where else, like, why else are you so charged? There's not that many black kids in your school. And
it sounds like he's reading from a script that somebody has told him all his life.
Exactly. And now, ain't probably going to be none there. But if my kid was going there, they would be withdrawn quickly.
Well, I'm going to tell you the issue I have with everything. All right, so first off, as is in any educational system, the police officers, police monitor and administration at the school monitor the social media accounts of the students at the school that they can access. Okay. Now, apparently, Cardinal Newman knew about this prior to.
Yeah.
And did not inform the parents.
Right. It didn't just happen.
He was actually initially just suspended, and then he was given the option allowed to withdraw without the expulsion being on his record. So parents went and they were disgraced once they found out on August 2nd because they went ahead and everything happened around July 15th. So now August 2nd at 10 p.m. Now you're telling me after the state newspaper had gotten a hold of it, now you're going to tell me that my child might have been in danger?
Right. Exactly.
And then you tell me that you give him, they was like, no, you have to expel him. So now in one of the articles I read, it said that he cannot get into a school now. Which is fucking good to him. I don't give a shit what the fuck happens to him at this point. I know some niggas I could take you to right now in Columbia.
Yeah, say it.
Go ahead and drop your ass off. I'll drop your ass off to some niggas right now. Right now.
But then do you know that he's also not being charged?
And he's not being charged.
He's not being charged.
With anything.
He's being charged for threatening to shoot up the school, but not for the videos.
Yeah, but I don't know if they could legally charge him with anything.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying. There's no charge for that.
But
We'll make up one.
I want to talk about the how accredited the school is. That man just said they're stinky. They're stinky. That's the adjective you're going to use.
Right.
And you're 16 years old.
Right. I thought about that too. I was like, oh, stinky.
Like that's the biggest word you could come up with. And then not only that, but man, keep up with the times. Like he was like a box of Jordans. Jordans are there. A lot of black people do wear them, but not everybody.
Boy, you could have gone and got Yeezys.
Yeah, I think you could have
favorite shoe of a black.
You could have went Air Force Ones. Like
they're just trying to go viral. It's like either people are going to really hate me, or people are going to really love me, or people are just going to laugh at me. Either way, I'm going to get clicks. I promise that these aren't the only two videos this man has made.
But you're also going to get in trouble. Like, really?
Well, I think, Lynn, it goes back to a bigger issue. And I think the biggest issue of it all, well, not the biggest issue, one of the bigger issues. There's two huge issues. And one of them is the way kids are being raised. Because nurture is the thing that gets this kid here. It's not nature. Definitely. A kid is not natured by nature just going to go, hey, I need to get this gun and go shoot somebody who's opposite me.
But also, his president is helping exacerbate the issue.
Well, I think, like on the DefyLife podcast, Money said that Trump is not the problem. Trump is the symptom.
The symptom
of the problem. You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
so
I like that.
It's a bigger thing than him. Because, I mean, shoot, you think if Trump comes out of office, the racists are just going to go away?
No. And they've always been there. They just haven't been given permission.
They never had someone that didn't give a damn what he said before in the office. I'm pretty sure there have been some racists in office, but they've always been so politically inclined to care what their image is that they don't cross particular lines.
Correct.
Trump just don't give a fuck.
Correct.
Plain and simple. He don't give a shit. What'd he say?
And there was also racist videos before he even got elected.
Exactly, and that was it. There was racist videos before that. So I mean, that's one of the points is his nurture. Parents out there teaching these kids to hate. He's hearing it, he's seeing it, he's feeling it, he's being taught to be raised in it. That's one. The second biggest thing is Simba talked about it. We live in a society in which likes and shares are the biggest thing that people could possibly want to get on social media. It validates them and who they are. And I think that there's a huge portion of society that needs to feel that validation. Like he's probably expelled from school, but happy at the fact, like you said, Simba, that he has these likes and that
now we talking about him,
that we have viral, and that we're talking about him. Who's to even say he would have even done it?
Right.
And now you got to be precautious. I believe, and I probably that take for me might be a little might not be as well agreed. You got to take precautionary steps with the day and age we live in of kids just shooting up shit left and right. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? When you look at it, he just wanted the clicks. He wanted to go viral. He wanted to be famous. And guess what? He went viral. He is famous. And it plays to I started watching the series Black Mirror.
Yep. And
there was an episode, there's an episode on Black Mirror where it's about social networking and all of that stuff. And like when you look at a person, they had these things that everybody that was programmed in their head. It was these things that would show you what a person's rating was, what their like rating was. So like the highest was a 5, the lowest was a 0. And wherever you fell determined your status in society. So you would get, the more likes you had, the more things you had access to, better seats on the plane, better rental cars, better this, better that. And if we don't get a grasp on this, if we as society don't get a grasp on this thing, the social media thing, that is where we're headed. Mm-hmm. And it was just crazy to see, because in the movie there's this girl driving herself nuts to get to this wedding to get her rating up, because her rating had to be a certain point so that she could live somewhere. And that's what this kid is doing. That's what a lot of kids are doing. They are using social media to validate themselves. And those are the two biggest issues I saw with this thing here. What about you, Simba?
We all went to high school with black people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went.
Yeah.
I graduated.
Now there's a good, I'll just say like 10 to 20% of those students that had guns on them every day.
Oh yeah.
When have you ever seen somebody let one loose at the school?
Not at the school.
Not at the school. Maybe at the parking lot around the corner or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
At school, we got it on us because we need to have it on us. We're coming to and from a neighborhood that something might happen and I might need it. We're not doing nothing at the school. It's always, all right, bro, I see you after school. I see you after school. No, you're not coming to the spot and shooting it up.
Right.
There's one, and there's also one underlining factor that all these articles have going for that I read. It's right. The administration was complicit with it.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Every one of these articles that I've seen, the administration knew about it and didn't say anything until it was too late.
Until it was too late, exactly. So why are you covering stuff up? Why are you hiding it?
Right. Yeah, and you're going to let this man go free. You're not even going to give him a pat on the wrist or anything. You're just like letting him go to another school.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. So
supposedly now he's not going to be able to. I guess he'll have to go online at home. But it is absolutely ridiculous, and I would like to see movement happen, because again, this is a private school. It's a Catholic school, which means you have to pay a tuition to go there. Sidebar, I was looking at your pictures. Did you go to a Catholic school?
I did.
Me too.
I was at a Catholic school from kindergarten to 11th grade.
Yeah.
Grade.
Okay, so this is is your school.
but at the same time, my school was all black.
Right, and so was mine. I went from preschool to 5th grade. Well, no, I'm sorry, preschool to 6th grade. Yeah. And I would have been slated to go to this particular school after 6th grade, but my parents decided to put me in public school, which I was definitely afraid of. But anyway, because I had seen Lean on Me, so I didn't know what I was getting into.
I think every or not every, but I think a lot of black kids need that private and public.
Oh yeah, I think it's
especially early, because it gives them an opportunity to have a better education in their formative years, to where it's like, okay, now I know what I'm doing, and then go to high school and then go to a public school, so you can get that freedom of becoming 18, 19.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate having both. But back to my point, private school, pay tuition. They just, now mind you, you don't know this because you're not from down here.
Right.
But they just built this fine brand new school. The school that you see on the picture, they just built, and it is brand spanking new. So I'm anxious to see how much enrollment is gonna go down, and I hope it will. And they lose all this money that they get in tuition. I mean, I know the diocese will step in at some point, but whatever. I would just, I don't like how the school handled it, and I think they need to feel the burn as well, because you know, what are you breeding? You're a freaking Catholic school. Y'all go to mass,
right?
Like, what are y'all doing? This is what they getting out of mass. I'm not understanding.
And let's just say there's some. What is that? What grades is it?
Cardinal Newman is 7th through 12. 7th through 12.
That's too many classes. So for every grade, there's probably like 10 of him.
Yeah. I
I
probably agree with that. And the way that it's set up here is this is a majority white school.
Right.
It's majority white. It always has been. There's only ever been a handful of black students that go to that school.
Well, that's all the private schools here in Columbia. In Columbia, in South Carolina.
Except on the elementary level, because like St. Martin is all black.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when you get to the 7th to 12,
the majority of them
Hall and Ben Lippin.
They're all majority white.
Yeah.
Well, they cost a college tuition to go to. So and over here in these families, we ain't finna do that.
Yeah, I think even if I could, I think there's something to the public school education. I think it helped. You have to deal with social class diversity.
Definitely.
That you wouldn't get just going to that I don't think you get just going to a private school. Just like I tell even my students that graduate from high school, I tell them, I said, if you go to a HBCU, you do know that you have to get your master's, and it's not to diminish the HBCU's degree, but you need to get the cultural diversity. You need to go to a culturally diverse university for your master's, so that on paper you look like you can. Because at this point, with degrees and all this and that and the third, on paper you need to look like you can be successful in any social environment and business environment you go into. So I just think that public school gives you that a little bit more. Although public school education ain't the best, I think socially it gives students more social skills. That, you know, sometimes you got to deal with a bully. Sometimes you got to punch him in the mouth.
That's true.
You know.
And listen, that's what I was scared of when I was going to public school. I knew I was going to have a bully, and I did. This big old girl, she was way bigger than me, and she had want to fight me, and I had to get the girl that was bigger than her to be on my side, and she was. So I would walk around with her, and I was safe. It was just like on TV. Yeah,
well, I mean, I just think it puts you in a position to have to you kind of got to grow, but I mean, shouts out to whoever reported what he was doing, because somebody had to actually see it and report it. I hope his parents come to some sort of light, which I highly doubt. And for all the niggas he was talking to, I hope there's a nigga somewhere that's going to slap his ass when they see him. Because, you wanted to go viral? Okay, I got your viral ass.
I think he need to stay from out the streets. Like, you can't go nowhere. Yeah, you can't go nowhere.
You do something, and now we know you on the internet, bro. You on YouTube. We coming to your house, bro.
Yeah. It's folk out there studying that face
right now.
Yes. Because look, the black kids that go to Cardinal Newman, they got friends in public school. Oh yeah, and they know him. Oh yeah,
bro. You got he gonna be at the mall tomorrow. All right, we gonna be waiting in the parking lot. I got niggas ready.
Well, we're going to kick this story to the curb. Let me ask you this first.
Kick him to the curb.
Kick his ass to the curb.
He need to go kick all kind of rocks and break all his toes.
Put him in the Jordan box and give me a gun.
Right.
I don't think he's learned his lesson.
I don't think he learned his lesson.
So, Yusuf, you as a teacher. Now, Simba, you're a teacher?
I'm an educator.
Educator?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't teach. I basically just give the kids game. I'm an after school. I'm a TA.
Okay,
and I'm also
I got
after
you.
School program. So
all right, educator. I like that. That's fancy. So Yusuf, you're an educator as well. In a high school, in a small town in South Carolina, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
It's a predominantly white town.
I just said that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Okay.
You know what I meant.
Okay.
Jeez, you know, some folk with red hats and stuff be walking around here every now and again.
I got one that won't win the class every day.
Oh God! So
Every day.
how does
Every
this?
day.
How does this come off for you? Like, do you go to school? Do you go to work in fear? Do you?
Well, first off,
do you have a plan? You got an exit
there is-
strategy?
let me tell you something. There's something that my kids know about Coach E.
Talk about it.
Don't let Coach E get to his car. Don't let Coach E get to his car.
All bets are off.
It's off at that point. Like I'm. Oh, you ain't got to worry about looking for me because now I'm looking for you.
Well, have you
And,
experienced this guy in your school?
Yes, there was a kid I taught last semester, and I was warned that at his former school he had given threats. But you know, in public school they can't necessarily, if they have a hearing and the kid sounds contrite, blah blah blah, you have to let him in. I have actually had 3 instances, oddly enough, last year. And this particular kid has said that he hates black people and that he wants to kill them all. That's what he said.
Already.
No, he was a freshman last year.
Damn.
A 17-year-old freshman.
Okay.
So that goes to say what he is in life.
17-year-old
Yeah.
freshman.
Yeah, he said he was waiting to age out. So I don't know if he's coming back this year.
Oh, probably not.
But
Smart kid.
yeah, smart kid. He said I don't like being in school with niggas and da 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 da. So
Okay.
I wish I could kill them all. Blah blah blah. Now, luckily for me, my classroom is in the building where the SRO is housed.
Okay.
So to get to me, you got to go past his office.
Okay.
And 9 times out of 10, he's standing outside the building, or because from outside our building, you can see the whole campus pretty much. So he's usually sitting or standing right there. And his police car is parked right in front of the thing. So if I'm a shooter, that's not the first building I'm coming to. So
Okay.
I would have time to do whatever needs to be done safety wise. And, you know, they got some things in place for us to keep the kids safe and this and the third. So I joke about getting to my car, but that is a true, real statement for me, because if it comes down to whether I got to go home to my kids or not,
I'm going home.
I'm going home to my kids. And you as a kid not going to stop me from going home to my kids. This kid, the odd thing enough about it was at the end of the year, at the end of the semesters, I give a little test or whatever. And it's really just questions about what they learned about themselves this year and this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. He hasn't taken no tests. He did no assignments the whole year. I was flunking the class, but he took this particular test that I handed out. And one of the questions was, what did you learn from Mr. English's class? And he wrote about a paragraph on the fact that all black people are not bad.
Oh,
There you go.
You know,
You're
he
not
said,
bad, yo.
he said Mr. English is one of my favorite teachers.
You one of the good ones, yo.
And he said that, and in talking to him at some point throughout the year, because I asked him about it.
yeah.
I was very upfront. I'm blunt with my kids. Like, my students know, you curse at Coach English, he gonna cuss your ass right the fuck back out. Like, I teach English, but I will cuss you clean out. And, you know, he said, you know, I think somebody used to bully him. That was a black kid when he was in elementary school. And, I think his father got fired by a black guy who owned the company or whatever. Like, pretty much,
Yeah.
in his eyesight, in his household, black people were always doing things to them.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So his feeling was, to make my life right, I'm gonna hate. If all the people in my life that I've come in contact with are bad, when it comes to them, all of them must be bad. And I think I never treated him. He said I was the first person, the first teacher to not treat him as if he was a bad kid.
Right. And you don't do that.
And he said, Coach, he said, all my other teachers, like, they ready to write me up. He said, you ain't never wrote me up. I said, for what? I'm gonna write you up for what?
Right.
What, so you can get suspended and be home where you want to be? No, I want to torture you. Sit in my class for an hour and a half every day. So at least I know a piece of knowledge is going to get through your head.
Yeah.
You know, so there was him, and then there was the Make America Great kid. Remember we sat in Applebee's and his family, that kid, he ends up with a debate, and I put him in a debate against a black girl, one of the smartest black girls in the class, and they were partnered up, and they had to come up with the topic, and the topic was whether to reelect Trump.
Oh God.
Man, that girl talked circles around that boy. I'm talking about, she talked that boy, and the last thing she said was, and I told him that you always have to leave your argument leave your opponent. Like if you got him down, kick him in the face. Because in the art of argumentation, you got to make a statement to the point where the person has nothing else left to say.
Right.
And the last thing she said was, and so now that you heard all that, now I need you to take that dumb hat off.
Oh.
And I was like, I wanted to clap for the little girl. I was like, let me.
Right. You got to hold it in.
I had to hold in my excitement. And he was just sitting there because he didn't have facts to back up his points. Because his family is telling him, this is what you need to believe. This is what you need to do. So, there are those kids. Those kids exist at my school, and I know they do.
Right.
The issue is, I think that we have to handle them as if they're kids, because at the end of the day, they are kids that cannot control their emotions.
Right.
So if you continue to piss them off and whatever else, then that's you.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. You approach them as you would approach any other kid, just like with our kid that we shared.
Yeah.
That was at your school, then he was at my school. I watched other teachers treat him like what he was on paper, what was presented to them about this kid. Everything was automatically, he was wrong and snapping at him. And his thing was, don't disrespect me. If I don't disrespect you, don't disrespect me. That's all he used to say. Don't disrespect me. And I approached him just like you approached him. And just like you approach these kids that are coming to you with issues, as just another kid. I joked around with him. I was a little bit scared of him. Now I did have I was going to hide from him.
Now Simba, a little background. That kid is a black kid who African American kid who he's big into gangs, and if he wanted to, can shoot up the school. Like he's a freshman and he was running grown men in this gang.
He was scary, but Simba, check this out though. He was like 5 feet tall.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Shout out to the short fellas.
Like he was like 5 feet tall, 100 pounds soaking wet. Like I'm talking about.
It's kind of scary though.
Like I remember, I saw him. He told a teacher one time, "I want to see you get to your car."
Oh,
I said, "Come here, boy," because I had that relationship with him,
and I did too.
And I think
my school,
my upbringing, I was raised in New York. And I was in gangs. I was in a gang, and I was in all of that. And I kind of turned my life around at a certain point. And I think that gives me validity when it comes to talking to these kind of kids.
100%.
Because I go through my first day. I go through my background with them. I do a presentation on where I've been and how I got here,
right.
And so it always allowed me to be able to talk to those kids. I could always reach those kids, and there was nothing different with him. I would be able to yell at him, "Man, boy, just go sit down."
Yeah,
same here. He would do it. He was like, "All right, coachy, you know how I get." I said, "Yeah, I just need you to do your work, though. Like, if you just sit down and do your work. Sit down and draw on the paper. I know you don't want to be here.
Yeah,
but don't be acting out in class."
Because I actually popped him one day. Like I walked up on him and popped him on his butt because he was doing something, and I popped it on his butt. He was like, "Man, Parkin, what you doing?" But any other teacher, and I'm not a teacher, Simba, I'm a therapist, but
he'd be ready to fight.
Teacher, he'd be ready to fight, and he had run-ins with all of the teachers.
Yeah, it's a respect thing, and I think once the kids,
because you have to show until and he hadn't done anything to me. I knew who he was on paper. I knew what his whole thing was, but upon meeting him, he hadn't done anything to me. So there was no reason for me to disrespect him or, yell at him or treat him like he was less than. But I watched those other teachers do that. And I was like, y'all better chill out.
Yeah, that boy come up here and do all kind of things to you.
Right, and he'll walk past my room and come to yours.
But we're gonna go ahead. I think I'm gonna be honest. We're rolling up on about time for a break. So
okay.
I think that's gonna be it for AEN in the news.
Yeah, well, we'll just make the note that upon this happened in our backyard. Simba, in your backyard was a mass shooting at the Garlic Festival a couple of weeks ago.
Nuts.
We'll talk about that. Well, before we go to break, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the shootings.
We'll talk about it briefly, and then we'll move on.
We'll move on into break. So, Simba, what was that like over there on your end? That's the one that happened in El Paso, correct?
No. There was one that happened in California.
In California?
Yes.
Oh man, where am I?
The Garlic Festival.
Oh wow.
So
talk about that.
Before I answer it. Yo, so is A and N in the news like just killings?
Well, no, it's whatever's in the news.
It's just whatever's in the entertainment and news.
Okay. I thought it was like all right.
It just so happened that this is the kind of shit that's in the news this week.
Yes, and this is not a podcast for conspiracies, but I think I feel like it's a reason for all this.
Oh no, it is. It is.
Gilroy. Yeah. So we have the Gilroy Garlic Festival. That's maybe like an hour away from where I am. Every year. And I haven't seen anything like this before. I actually know someone whose son was there.
Oh, wow.
And when they were talking to my friend, it was like, oh, yeah, we had just left like 30 minutes before all that stuff happened.
Oh, my gosh. That is so scary. But
and it's like, how do you prepare for something like that?
Well, me and Kim's philosophy is we staying home. We ain't going nowhere. But I mean, you can't do that either. I can't not go to work. I got to go to work.
That's true.
I can't. If I stay home and don't go to work, I won't have a home. So I can't not go to work. But I almost don't want to do anything. So, so you had that one. And then what's unfortunate is the 3 that died in that situation were children.
Yeah, exactly.
All 3 of them were children. I'm just like, you know what? It's just horrible. So then that was in your backyard. Then you got Dayton, Ohio. That, oh my God. And then El Paso, Texas. I can't. We don't mean for all of our news to be this, but it is what it is. So then I think that what happened here, this is the young kid. This leads into these adults who are now doing this foolishness. Shooting up people in places. You have taken parents from children from parents.
Right.
It's just not okay. And so that leads into what our main topic is, which is about, mental health. We specifically talking about black men with mental health, but then, what are we looking at with the mental health of these people?
Right.
And when should it have been addressed? In my opinion, when they were younger. Like, what was happening with these folks? And again, I do firmly believe that they have whatever issues they have going on, but their president feeds into it and helps them decide that they're going to, execute their plans. They might otherwise still been in the mama's basements, but he has brought them out. And it's just not okay.
It's sick. It's sick. And it's not even targeted. It's just I just want to kill.
Yeah. Now El Paso was targeted.
Yeah, that guy. I think he said he went in there targeting Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
And that's what he said. He said it. He said, "Yeah, I went ahead to get these Mexicans." But I think, like I said, everything has a deeper rooted issue, and I think that although Trump is the symptom, what he has allowed for is for these people who have been in hiding to be in plain sight.
Exactly.
That's what has happened. Okay, so I don't have to be politically correct. Okay. All right, so I don't have to be cautious about what I'm doing. Okay, I'll just say and do whatever I feel like doing. And he's encouraging this type of behavior. And I had a discussion with Lynn last night at dinner, and I told her, I said, with the Democratic Party, they are so hell-bent at going at Trump and then going at each other. It's going to take a strong candidate to beat Trump. I don't think that a woman, and this is I don't think that a woman, and this might be a bad, some people might say maybe chauvinistic statement.
I don't think so.
But I don't think that of the candidates, the Democratic candidates, they're going to have to be strong enough to not only corral the Democratic Party, but they've got to reach across the party lines and be able to take some of his support from him. Right. And it's going to take a very strong personality, polarizing candidate to do that. And from what I've seen from a lot of the female and the male candidates, I don't think there's anyone. I think the closest person to that might be maybe Bernie, Joe Biden might be, and I think that's a might. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know about Bernie Sanders.
And I think Bernie might be. I think Bernie and Biden are in the same boat, but they're so busy fighting each other.
Yeah, which they need to. They really need to have a Democratic candidate meeting. And be like,
look, y'all. Listen, this is what
we need to strategize.
I don't care which one of us in this room win.
Right.
We just need to win.
Right.
You know, we got to get this fool up out of here.
And I hope that eventually they will come to that. They need to realize that that's what they need.
Yeah,
to
so
do.
I mean, he's just giving these people the ability and the say so and the way of just getting into it. But I am interested in your conspiracy theory, though, Simba. What is it that you?
Y'all not gonna have the FBI running in my house. Oh no, but I did want to say real quick. There's been what day are we on? We're on the 10th.
Yeah, we're on the 10th.
There's been 1, 2. There's been 15 mass shootings this month.
This
already
month
in 10 days.
Yep.
Shoot, in 7 days, in 1 week.
Okay, well we only know about 3. What other ones?
Shoot, that's hold on, I pull them up.
Virginia, Maryland, Paso, Dayton, 2 in Chicago, Mississippi, Memphis, Brooklyn, Maryland, Michigan, Missouri.
Why haven't we heard about all of them?
I heard about the one in Brooklyn. I did hear about the one in Brooklyn.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm from Brooklyn.
Well,
so.
yeah, but what was it?
12. I'm sorry. It's been 12. Because some of them were just, no one died.
Nobody died.
Injured.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, like, to be honest.
Shootings, but not.
Until people die, it really don't hit the mainstream.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't have that much shock factor.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at it in a vacuum, like, it really, those other ones weren't really covered in a grander scope. You know what I'm saying? So this violence is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because the Paso and then the Dayton, it had so many deaths.
That it took the forefront.
Yeah. That's true.
So I mean, you know, I don't know, man. I've always carried my, you know, my protection for protection. It's never been as an aggressor.
Right.
But these people are just aggressive, and I don't know how you can, because I do, in these days and age, I need my right to own my firearm. I need that. I need my right now, because I don't ever know what's going to happen. And not only that, but I got young kids. I got a daughter that's in the 10th grade. Every day she goes to school, and she goes to a predominantly white school in Georgia. And I'm like, you know, I don't know, you know, I pray for her every morning. It's like, I just want my baby to come back home to her mom at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't want her to have to. And I've had talks with her. Hey, listen, if you hear this is what I need you to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Listen to the teacher.
You got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, we got to have open conversation about how my kids to do that. Like my son, my youngest one, the 6-year-old and the 4-year-old were having an argument. The 4-year-old punched the 6-year-old. 6-year-old came crying to me. So the 6-year-old hit the 4-year-old back. 4-year-old came crying. So I said, you know, I told him, don't put your hands on each other. But if somebody outside of this room put their hands on you, you better put your hands on them.
Definitely.
You got to defend yourself. I don't care who it is. And if you get in trouble by the teacher, I'll deal with it. But if somebody put their hands on you, you put your hands on them. You defend yourself all the time, and you do not back down to no bully, period. And I told the 6-year-old and the 4-year-old that.
Or you just get somebody bigger.
Yeah, like their mama did. Just get somebody bigger to roll around with them.
Exactly. Man, listen, shouts out to Simp Boo. Yes,
and
girl.
that was her name, Simp Boo.
Yeah.
She looked like she was about to roll. She sounded like she was supposed to roll with somebody.
Right. Simp Boo was my girl. Thank you, girl, for saving my life.
Chris Rock said something very poignant one day. He said, don't go to clubs with metal detectors because you might feel safe inside, but what about them niggas outside with guns and know that you ain't got one?
Yep, because they know you ain't got one. Mm-hmm. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to get into this commercial break. That was AEN in the news. Why?
And entertainment.
And
entertainment. We did no entertainment,
we
but
didn't
whatever.
do no entertainment.
Because it's what's important to us, and we don't care if it's important to you. Thank you for listening.
So we're going to have this commercial brought to you by the DefyLife Podcast Network.
Best Medicine Podcast with Simba, sparking positive change in the community, having real conversations and therapy. You know that laughter's the best remedy. Got that heavy dose of humor for your hearts to heal. With mental health, it can't get any more real, yeah. Best Medicine Podcast. Laugh, love, learn. Best Medicine Podcast.
Best Med Pod, it's your man Simba Roar back in this thing one more time, bruh. Come get your weekly diagnosis Thursday at midnight, only on the DefyLife Podcast Network. Check us out, though.
All right, that's so cute.
I don't think he meant for his commercial to be cute, but
Simba, that's cute.
Thank you.
dope commercial, definitely.
Hey, yo, don't speak for me. My commercial cute.
It's so cute. I love that little song.
But dope show, dope concept. Definitely coming to the DefyLife Podcast Network. Remember, you can catch his first episode on September 5th. So we're going to take a couple minutes right now just to kind of talk about the podcast, man, so we can get the AEN family, get the ladies family behind you for that first week, for that push. Go ahead and make sure they click subscribe when they go ahead and listen to that first episode. What you going to say, Lynn?
Wait now, is it the diagnosis of Best Medicine? I'm so confused.
What are you trying to search?
The name
it?
of the podcast.
It's the diagnosis.
I knew that.
Okay, yeah, okay. All right.
I just don't see it.
You have our special guest on. That's why it come out on the 5th, Lynn. That's what we say.
Oh.
It's available on the 5th.
I want it now.
Okay. Oh, excuse me, Simba.
If you want it now, you can go on Spotify and SoundCloud.
Yeah, SoundCloud and Spotify is on there.
I don't know nothing about that.
Okay, I'll send you the link.
Send me the link.
I'll send you the link so you can listen to it. Okay. But Simba, talk to us a little bit about the show, man. Talk to our listeners about the show.
So, I like to say best. I call it Best Med Podcast because when I said this on the DefyLife podcast, is when in our shows, it's about healing. So when we have these conversations, these real conversations, we have that real friend therapy, as I call it. Mm-hmm. We both heal, and then the listener also heals. Okay. So we're the best medicine.
All right.
So
the show is the diagnosis.
So that's a dope concept. So how did you come up with? First off, how did you come into the realm of saying, "Hey, look, I want to do a podcast"?
I was tired of people stealing my ideas.
Oh. I know the feeling, bro.
Man, I'm sitting here thinking stuff, and then 2 days later, I hear Charlemagne talking about the same thing. I'm like, bro, you know.
Like Facebook, you Google something, and then here go on Facebook.
Yeah,
same thing, bro.
Yeah, I know the definitely.
I wanted to put it on wax, so it was like, y'all know I heard it. I said it.
Right.
You got the proof. Now the proof is in the pudding. So
man, it's here.
I get the name. I get the Best Med, but you could have went a number of different ways with your podcast. What made you do this, like this particular podcast?
So it started off just a friend and I just in his basement, just chopping it up every week. And then we were trying to figure out a name. We were trying to. I don't take no credit for the name. It was just all his idea for the name. We came up with it, and we was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. But it was Then we started getting guests on the show, and then every week they were like, man, I just feel good. I feel way better now that I came and talked to y'all about this. I've been holding this stuff in, so it morphed into more of a conversation of listening and trying to work out some problems that people have been having. So then everybody that came on was like, yo, I love this. I love that I get somebody to just listen and talk to me. Okay. So that's where that best medicine, because we're the best medicine. No, they come in and they feel better. The diagnosis is us like, oh, these are these patterns that we're seeing. Mm-hmm. How do we get through them?
You sound like you need to go and get that degree in counseling and that license.
Yeah, definitely. I'm already. I've always been that person.
Is that what we're working on?
Need the checks for it.
Yes. Is that what we're working on?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. But see, you doing, I like, and it's funny that you said stealing ideas, and then now you're talking about how you do it. Kim and I have talked about a more, now we didn't want our podcast to be therapeutic because we do that all day.
Okay.
You need a break.
Yeah, definitely.
Although we will give advice, suggestions, kind of help people with some stuff, but we didn't want that to be the basis of our podcast.
Right.
But we have shot around how to do a more informal version of what I do day to day. Kim is kind of behind the scenes. I'm the one sitting in front of the people every day.
Okay.
Whew, sorry. I felt some exhaustion when I said that. I'm the one that's sitting in front of the folks every day, and I do it as my occupation. And we were thinking about a more like relaxed and, less, I don't know, just rigid way of doing it. Like not doing it the way that it's done in the corporate world.
Right.
Y'all turned it into a podcast. We are thinking about it as a business, and we'll have to talk to you about that later off air. Yeah. But I like your concept. I really like that. And I do think you should go get those credentials. Because, you can hang a shingle outside your house. Once you get the credentials.
and charge for it.
Definitely. Charge for it.
Yeah, people come sit on your couch at the house.
Yeah, exactly.
But man, like
you will be recorded.
You will be recorded.
They will need to sign that release to be recorded.
Of course.
But you know what? That is a thing. Like that's a part of our paperwork because we can record sessions. Yeah. Our clients have to sign off on it.
Of course.
And it's for the reason of that might be a therapist's preference so that they don't have to write the entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe you need it for court or whatever, but that is a thing. So.
Okay.
Well, I just want to say I'm an extreme fan of your show.
Love.
Yeah, I had it the second that somebody came to me with the idea of bringing you on. I vetted you first. I had to go ahead and listen to multiple shows and be like, I remember listening to the first show that I heard, and I was like, hey man, listen to the next one. Like, and I became
Netflix series.
Yeah, the Netflix series. Like, I became. It was like a Netflix series to me. Like, it was a good one. So I was actually in Atlanta, and I was driving around, and I just was listening to the diagnosis. I caught myself. I listened to, I think it was 4 episodes up at the time, and I listened to all 4 of them, and I was like, yo, we got to get this guy.
That's how you found him?
No, I didn't listen. Somebody sent me his name.
Oh, okay.
Jesus, don't worry.
Like,
you got me
so
telling.
You can just call people up.
I mean, yeah,
you got pulled like that.
What, to call people up? No, I just have to email them first and get a number. I just can't.
Okay.
But once we talked about it, he had to do some thinking, and I am excited.
Me too.
Because I mean, the show is, if you listen, once you take a listen to this show, it's going to probably become one of your favorites. I think it's probably going to be one of the favorite shows, one of my favorite shows, definitely. Now there was a statement made. A question that was posed to the members of the DefyLife podcast the other day, and they said, who was their favorite guest or host of a podcast? My name did not come up once.
Oh, shame.
So let me tell the DefyLife people something. I am 3 different personalities on this network.
Yes, you are.
How am I not the favorite host?
Because they got too much of you.
Who was that?
They're like, this nigga again.
Right. Here we go again.
See, but here's the thing. I am 3 different people on each show. I am 3 totally different people.
Totally. Okay.
Now, if you hear me on the DefyLife show, I'm a whole nother level.
A whole hot mess.
A whole level of retarded.
Hot mess.
But, I felt some type of way about that.
Who was that?
Then they asked West Coast. They asked West Coast Jay in the said to tell Simba in the battleground who's the opponent that they need to look out for. West Coast goes back to all the commercials and says all the questions and says the answer to all the questions is Lynn and Kim.
Yeah.
West Coast. Yes.
Two heads are better than one.
That's my boy.
No.
He is my boy.
Yeah, I didn't say
I'm
he
mad
wasn't.
at him. Still mad at him that he didn't come to the cookout because he was asleep. Because
But-
I was ready to meet him. But that's my boy.
But anyway, now as you can see, Simba, we're a family around here, and we are definitely ready to wrap our arms around your show and help it grow as much as possible. And I can't tell you how excited I am to have you on the network. So we're going to go ahead and get into our topic of the day. And Lynn, we're going to go ahead and have you bring that in.
Not Lynn.
Not Lynn.
Hold up.
Okay, what is the topic, Lynn?
Well, we're just going to talk a little bit about mental health and depression in black men and
Black men
boys.
and black men and boys. Okay,
Yes.
well, go ahead, Lynn.
I got
You
nothing.
gonna start with you? No.
Well, Simba, did you have anything else to say that you want us to know about your show?
It's so what I did. It was a cultivation of a year. So for this whole year, I've been just recording without the knowing that when it's time to actually put them out, that they're gonna make some noise.
Okay.
So then once I put them out, it was crickets.
Oh,
It was crickets. I was like, yo, this is such good content, but nobody even knows I exist.
oh,
So when I reached out, or when I got reached out to, it was like, this is perfect because, hey, y'all love this. Y'all can help me get this great content out.
yes.
So it's been a beautiful couple of months, man.
Okay.
I've been putting in the groundwork to be able to be in this position. It's like I worked so hard this year to now be here. Like I'm almost about to shed a tear, yo.
Oh, I know how you feel. Kim and I, we will celebrate our 1 year in October, and it
Okay.
has just been a ride. And we were born kind of like you. Just she and I talk on the phone 17 times a day, and we
Yep.
talk about anything, everything, and nothing. And we kept saying, somebody's got to hear this stuff, because like we would make these points, and we'd have these laughs and all of this, and it's like, don't nobody hear this but me and you.
Right.
So Yusuf started doing his podcast long before that. He started with Staley in English, and then it just DefyLife just kind of fell in our lap. I didn't even know he was doing it. Like I didn't even know what DefyLife was. I didn't know he was doing it. And then one day he goes to Kim to try to get her to co-host something with him, and I was like, excuse you, no,
Just circumvented you. Huh?
right? If Kim gonna have a podcast, it's gonna be with me, not you.
It's
What
our
we doing? So anyway, that's how we were born, and just kind of wanting people to hear this foolery. And like I said, I'm talking to people about serious stuff all day, every day.
All day. You wanna
This
come
is
look?
lighthearted, and I have even shared it with some of my clients, and I'll be like, no judgment, don't judge me.
Yeah.
This is a different me now. So, but it's a lot of fun, and we are extremely excited to have you.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Yeah,
welcome.
I want to stress. It's like I don't know what I'm talking about. I just really just share what my heart is. The two pillars of my show is honesty and vulnerability.
Okay.
So if you're coming to me with whatever you've been going through, all I could do is be compassionate and have empathy about it, and then try to talk you through it.
Right.
I'm no way, shape or form,
And expert.
responsible for anything that you do after we talk.
And make sure you put that disclaimer out there now.
Yes, exactly. I am not a licensed therapist. I'm just your friend that wants the best for you.
Exactly.
So we have great laughs on the show. We have deep insight on the show. Like I said, 60% of my friends are artists, so they come on there, do it, whether it's spoken word. I had a comic book a black comic book creator. I have dancers. I have singers. I have community activists. I have so many people that have wanted to share, and
That's so awesome.
I'm done recording my first season. I'm now about to get into recording my second season.
Get a. We'll see.
So y'all have a lot of content on DefyLife.
Get a.
Yeah, the man be working, man.
Awesome. But you know what? The hard part with like our show with AEN is that we have to record every week because it's based on what's going on every week.
Exactly.
That's so aggravating. We have talked about recording shows ahead, but we just not sure how to make that work.
Yeah, it's the content. You got to stay current.
Yeah, our content has to stay current.
I mean, what else would you do on a Saturday but defy life?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be out here defying life, man.
All the time. Okay. You right. Well, thank you, Simba.
Yeah, thanks for joining the podcast network. We appreciate you.
Okay. So, in all of this helping that you're doing out here and working with these middle school boys, have you come across folk like black boys that are exhibiting symptoms of depression, or what you might 100%. Think are symptoms of depression? Okay.
100%.
Okay.
Why do we think, my question is, why do we think that it is, in the article that we shared, the article is on psychologybenefits.org. Name of the article is Depression in Black Boys Begins Earlier Than You Think. It's a suicide risk for black boys between the ages of 5 and 11 is 2 to 3 times higher than that of white boys.
That's nuts.
Like, and that was a study done in 2018. This concerning trend continues through adolescence, as reported by Nationwide Youth Risk Behavior Survey. The rates of attempted suicide, including attempts that resulted in an injury, poisoning, or overdose, are 1.2 times higher among black males compared to white males. Like, what do we think that's attributed to? Because I have some ideas, but what about you, Simba? What do you think as a black male?
We are stuck in the hood our whole lives. And in those hoods, we see a lot of stuff, and we're privy to a lot of stuff we shouldn't see as children. Now, for me, it was different because I necessarily wasn't in the streets, but for me, what my mental health or struggle came from losing my mother at such a young age. So I was 7 years old when I lost my mother to sickle cell anemia.
Okay. I'm so sorry to hear that.
In 3rd grade, I'm seeing a therapist to just, get me through, because I was raised by my grandmother, and she put me in a therapist at my school, and, just talking it out. And at that age, I didn't know what depression was. And that's another reason. We don't know. We just feel away.
Right.
So for her to tell me at such a young age, oh, you have depression, you might have depression, that scared me. So to a point where I didn't want to keep going to her, because now I don't want to have something wrong with me.
Right.
Now, I will say, to kind of piggyback on that, I'm going to reference 2 people here. One is the one great scholar, C.L. Butler from the Relationship Status Podcast. He says black men need hugs too. And I remember on your podcast, you speaking with a lady, and she was like, black men have feelings, and they need to have those feelings addressed and need to be seen. And I think that black men, I think that the black boys are at a point, or young black men, adolescent black men, they're kind of told they can't cry, they can't open up about their feelings, they have to be tough. For some of them, they are the man of the house, so they don't have time for feelings. They are the ones that have to maybe get an extra job to help mom out, or they're the ones that have to take care of their younger siblings, and they're only 14. And they, mom is bouncing from man to man. The only consistency she has in her life is that son. And so that's a lot of pressure for that young man, who has to be strong for her, so he can't speak. So that's why I think a lot of these numbers are the way they are, because, and I hate to say it, but a lot of us don't stick around for family. Right. And I hate to say, I praise those that do, but there's a portion of us out there that don't stick around for family, and we leave our young black men, our sons, to have to fill the fatherly role and the husband role. Like, you know how much pressure that is for a kid to be. I got to be my mom's husband and a father to my younger siblings. Like, that is a huge, huge deal, especially when the mom is putting it on them. Like, and the moms need the help, and they don't know any other way to achieve that.
Right. But
you have to be a father before you even know how to be a man.
Right. Exactly.
We're not nurtured. We're not nurtured. We just have to grow up.
Right.
And it's almost like we're thrown. I like to use this analogy. My dad said when he got drafted to go fight in Vietnam, there was like no basic training. There was no AIT. They was like, yo, here's what you're doing.
Go fight.
Go do it. And he said they would drop him from a helicopter with a dog and a gun in the jungle, and he had to stay there for a week by himself, making sure that it was safe for the troops to come and land. So that's pretty much that's what I equate what they're doing, what we do to our adolescent young to our young men in our society that we live in. When that's why I became a teacher, because or educator, because I wouldn't say just teacher, because there are people that impact these students that are not certified teachers.
That's me.
People like yourself, you know what I'm saying? The bus drivers that drive the bus that the kid feels they can confide in. The coaches that may work at the YMCA down the street, but they coach them at the school. The guidance counselors, the cafeteria workers that they feel they can latch on to.
Shoot, the janitor.
The janitor
Yes.
down the hall, who always seems to be somebody that they can listen to. The issue is, I think what happens is all of these people are put in place, but there's only a few that take advantage of these people, because they're told whatever happens at home stays at home.
Right.
Or you can't be vulnerable, because we're not supposed to be vulnerable.
Right.
Like we're living in a very racist world nowadays. Like we're living in a tough world. So
yeah, and that's the point I was getting ready to make.
by me opening up about my feelings, I feel as though I'm showing weakness.
Yeah. The other dynamic is the racial part of it. That when you're a black boy growing up in society, you're being taught that you have to do things differently than everybody else. You
Right.
have to be smarter. You have to be stronger. You have to perform better in school. Like you got to do 2 times the work of the white kids and the other races, because if you slip just a little bit, just like this thing says, then you're caught up in the school to prison pipeline. You're like, there's no margin for error.
Well, I think
You're like 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
and that causes a level of confusion for kids because pressure. But not only that, I got pressure of, so now we're not only talking about pressure at home,
right?
You got pressure at school, and then between school and home, it's gangs, it's girls, it's all of this other stuff, and I am just this little black boy that all I want to do is maybe play a video game. All I want to do is play. You know what I'm saying? All I want to do is grow up. All I want to do is a chance to be a kid, and they are thrust into adulthood so friggin' quickly that hell, I'm 40 and can't deal with half the shit I got to deal with now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's tough.
Black boys aren't allowed to fail.
Right.
Oh, no. They can't fail?
There's no margin for error.
So, I mean, but that's the thing. How because the failure is going to equate to, I have made it a point. There was something that my grandma used to tell me and my parents, and I hear a lot of parents and community members say this. You already got 2 strikes against you. You're a male and you're black.
Yep.
I refuse to say that to my kids, and I'm going to tell you why. And it's because I don't want them to have the feeling of I'm already down too.
Right.
They should be self-motivated. They should wake up every morning and I'm going to get this because this is what I do.
Right, because I can.
Because I can.
am who I am.
Because I am who I am. When my kids leave the house every single day, and my son, if I call him in here right now and say, hey, be a what? He'll finish the sentence, leader. Every single day.
Every day.
I tell him, be a leader. And he finishes it with leader. And he knows that I will hold him accountable if he is not a leader. If you got in trouble for following somebody else up BS, you're in trouble for that because you're supposed to be a leader. Not because you're black, not because you're male, not because you got all these strikes against you. Because you are a mirror. And because you are a mirror, you got to go get it. And that's it. And I think that's me. And I know people disagree with that, but I think that if we would stop heaping on them all of these things, they have a chance.
You might get better results if you don't.
Our young men don't get a chance to be kids.
Right.
They don't get a chance to be kids, man.
And I'm guilty. I used to tell CJ that.
And I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I just think that that's what had to be said sometimes to get motivation out of people. but I think that we have to teach our kids to be self-motivated. We have to teach our young black boys to be self-motivated.
And a lot of it is generational. So like you said, you would teach your son, you would say those things to your son, and it's like a lot of it our mothers and our grandmothers have instilled in us, like, oh, you can't, you don't need to be in that night air. Like certain things, it's like, right. What if I work nights? I can't, like it's a fear factor.
Yes.
And like I would say, like I did an episode called Godfidence, and we were talking about it had just happened right after Nipsey Hussle passed or got murdered. We'll say that he didn't pass; he got murdered.
Correct.
And I was like, for that whole week and a half, I was afraid to even leave the house. Whenever I was out, I was extra vigilant and looking around. I was paranoid. I was like, man, like between my own people and between the police, I don't feel safe nowhere.
Right. No.
But in the house.
But here's the thing. I tell my basketball players, I tell them they got to come together, and the reason why I said if we, because I equate it to we at war,
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we at war, the enemy's on that side,
right?
They got guns. Guess what we got? We got guns. I can't function correctly if I got to worry about them with their guns and you with your gun.
Right.
Aiming at me.
Like, how the hell I'm going to function in this foxhole?
Right.
And that's what we putting these young black men in. We are arming them with protection, but they have to fight so friggin' much. Yeah. And the majority of it is coming from us telling them what they can't do, what they can't be. You can't open up about your feelings. You can't cry. You don't be tough. Don't talk about what goes on at home. You know how many of them kids don't eat until they come to school?
Right.
Facts.
You're exactly right.
And their parents tell them, don't talk to nobody, don't take nothing from nobody, don't ask nobody for help.
Yeah, you're not no charity case.
Yeah, you're not no charity case. Well, motherfucker, yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Motherfucker, yes, you are. You are that.
You need all of the help. For help. We're not allowed to ask for help either.
We're not allowed to ask for help. Now, here's the thing. I tell my son, and the only reason I tell my kids this is because they shouldn't have to ask for it. They should be asking me for it because we're fine.
Right.
I said, don't ask nobody out in the street for no money. Don't ask them for their snacks. Don't ask them for nothing. You want something, you ask me. Like, do that. Until now, as he gets older, we will start to teach him ask. We tell him stuff, ask for help with certain things. But as far as asking for money, stuff we're not hard up. But if we were in a bad off situation, I would not have a problem with my son asking for help.
Right.
Right.
I don't want him to go hungry for the whole day because I can't afford to feed him.
That's facts.
I don't want him doing that. I don't want him missing out on stuff because we can't afford to do it. If you need help, ask for the friggin' help. Teach your kids to ask for the help that's needed.
Right. Not
wanted, because there's a difference in the two. And I think sometimes people ask for help because that's what they wanted. For some stuff they want to do.
Right.
Like if there's a homeless person on the side of the road and I say, hey, bro, I'll come take you to get something to eat. Right now, you can just give me the money. No, I can take you to get something to eat.
No, yeah, you're going to get this food.
You're going to get this grub. Food. You get this food. And that's coming from somebody who has been homeless before. So I understand what they're going through on a day-to-day basis because I wasn't homeless like living with other people. I was homeless like sleeping on the damn street.
Yeah.
And so I understand a lot of this stuff that they go through, but I do understand that if somebody told me, hey, I'll take you to get something to eat, guess what I did? Thank you. Take me to get some of this grub. These young black boys are not allowed to show any vulnerability. And they're not allowed to fail. And that is way too much pressure. And shoot, man, if that is heaped upon a child and all they see is their only way out because they can't see the future, my only way out is to be out. Let me just get out of this world.
Yep.
That's real. It's nothing for me here. Another reason is because they're not diagnosed. They're seen as angry or they're easily frustrated. Like I have every week I have a list of my kids and certain things are put into the boxes. One of the kids is easily frustrated. No, his mom just died and he's depressed.
Right.
Like he's easily frustrated because there's something in his life that is affecting him. Correct. He's not just angry.
They're very quick to give labels of like behavioral labels.
Oh yeah, they get B-mods all the time.
Yeah, anger and frustration and bad temper, that kind of, but nobody ever digs into what is going on.
Well, but then that goes back
and
to...
they get the ADHD diagnosis and the intermittent explosive disorder instead of depression.
Yeah, but I think...
now they drugging up little kids, and now their brain chemistry is off. So by the time he's 18, 20 years old, his brain chemistry is all screwed up.
Yeah.
Wonder why he acts like that.
And then you come back to it, but that comes back to us, what we talked about in the beginning of the show with me going to the doctor. That comes back to us saying, hey, look, something's wrong with my son.
Exactly.
I need to take him to see if something's wrong.
Right.
But then again, I got to be paying attention to my child first.
And I got to go in there and tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
I got to tell the truth. I got to tell, man, listen, that's the biggest thing. People don't want to live in their own.
I can't tell you how many times a parent come throw a child in my office and be like, yeah, he bad.
You're right.
I can't tell you how many times I done been in staff meetings and I done went off. Like I kept hearing, man, this kid, he's just bad. He's just bad. I said, how you going to say a kid bad?
Right.
I tell him ain't no such thing as a bad kid. He's a kid. He ain't him or her. They're kids. They're if you could tell me you the same person you was 10 years ago and you the same person you was 10 years before that, you could tell me you the same person you was yesterday. I'll call you a damn liar. To your face.
Experiences grow you.
Exactly. And so these kids are going through these experiences, but they're going down the wrong route of these experiences because they're told all these things that apply this pressure to them so they can't release the pressure. And what happens to things when pressure is piled up? It explodes. So it's only a matter of time before they explode.
Yeah. They told me about one of the kids in my group, and they were like, oh, yeah, he's such a troublemaker. He always gets in the fight, and has such a terrible attitude. And just like how y'all said, little shortcuts that was, that respected y'all. He was the same way. He was a little guy, but when he saw me, he loved me. He respects me. I don't have no issues with him other than, listen, but he a little kid. He's not going to listen.
Right.
But you want to know the crazy part about that, Simba, is?
Adults talk so bad about the children that they can't handle.
Yes.
Man,
instead of trying to understand them.
And if all a kid wants, for all the professionals out there, teachers and everybody else who can't understand it, let me say it. I'm going to say it simply. All they want you to do is listen to them.
Listen.
Yep.
Not placate them, not have them talk and you do some other shit.
Listen.
Just listen to them. That's all they want, to be loved, and they want you to listen to them. And that's why teachers have so much power that a lot of them do not understand that they have. If you just love your students, the ones that do not get that love at home are usually the ones that have those behavior issues. And you show that love on them, and you like, people call me, the students call me the most difficult teacher to pass in school.
Right.
Because I put expectations on you. I believe each one of you can do what I'm putting forth. And if you do not put 100% in, I grade you on your effort, not where you are or where you finish. So they know one thing about coaching. Coaching is care. He gives a damn about you, because if he didn't, I'll sit at the back of the classroom and give you some worksheets on your computer and call it a damn day.
Exactly. That's why I like being in the position I'm in. I don't necessarily know if I want to teach, because the role that I'm in, I'm able to affect them and have a personal relationship with them.
Yeah.
And as a teacher, you'd be more restricted.
Well, exactly. And every day I ask my children, I say, hey, how are you feeling?
Mm-hmm.
Not how are you doing? What's going on? How are you feeling? Because I want to know, because whatever you answer that question as, that's how I'm going to treat you today. Mm-hmm. If you come and tell me, because I coach basketball, so it was like, Coach, I haven't eaten today. I'm not going to make you run as hard.
Right. Because
you offer an empty stomach. Or I'll find some food for you to eat. Like, all right, go take a minute, go eat that food, and then come back.
Yeah.
Give me 75%. Give me 50%.
Right.
Give me whatever you got. Whatever you got in there. Give me what you got. And we can make it work. And I just think that it's a fixable issue in society. It is fixable.
Yeah.
But it starts with, being impeccable, man. It got to start at home. It starts at home with the parents taking the time out to understand their kids, man, and just pay attention to your kids, because the kids will tell you whatever it is you need to know. pay attention to them. My daughter, she's in the 10th grade. She said, I restricted her from using Snapchat because I done seen what my students do with Snapchat. So I restricted her from using Snapchat. And,
You a smart pops.
Hey, listen, I got the Verizon family thing, so I locked the apps on it. And I was like, yeah, no, ain't no access on your phone, homie. But she called me and she said, hey, Dad, I want to get Snapchat. I'm in the 10th grade. I'm 15, and you know, I'm not going to do anything wrong with it. I said, okay, here's the rules. I need to have, whenever you make your account, I need to have your account thing, and I need to have access to your account. Not to say I will check, because I want her to know that I trust her. But I watched a movie a little while back about the guy who lost his daughter, got kidnapped or whatever, and he used the computer to kind of find her or whatever, and realized how much he did not know about his daughter because he didn't know any of her passwords to any of her stuff or none of that. And we live in a world where I don't have to watch you do what you do. I can trust that me and your mom are doing the best job that we can do. But I do need to know if something goes down, how that I can reach you, how I can get to you. And I just put that trust in her and talked with her about, and eventually I let her have it. Actually, I unlocked it last night. She was, oh, thank you, Daddy. I was like, because that's what the kids use now. I can't be mad at it, but, I just wanted her to be responsible. I wanted her to know what it's like to be without.
Yeah.
So that when she gets it, it's an appreciation, and that she doesn't want to lose it. So she won't do nothing. And my daughter makes good decisions, so I can't be upset with her.
Now, I work with the middle school now.
Yo, listen.
Hey, that Snapchat is a beast, man.
Yo, listen, the Snapchat is a beast.
Well, I didn't see. No, because you and your grown ass is on Snapchat.
Well, I am on Snapchat. But the kids, no, I'm talking about like they could do, like they be having girls doing strip shows.
So look.
Because it disappears.
One thing is they'll give you a Snapchat
and create another one.
Have a private. They got a private one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
They got a private one where their parents never know. They tell me all the time, yeah, my parents don't see this private one. They just have my other one, and I never log on to that one.
See,
no, but here's the thing, though. See, those parents don't got that Verizon family. I could cut that Snapchat off. My Snapchat not working. Yeah, I know. Something fishy going on. You gave me this account and you ain't posting 2 weeks, but you want to Snapchat so bad.
Right. See, you gotta look at them clues.
Yeah. No, I ain't stupid.
Oh,
so
sorry for the microphone noise.
No, you got the moving stuff and now it's acting crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell CL you broke it yesterday. I'm gonna tell CL you broke it tomorrow too. Watch.
Oh, really?
Yep. I'm gonna say, hey, Lynn broke your mic.
So Lynn, I want to hear what you have to say about this whole Black Boys and Depression.
Yeah, Lynn, you've been quiet. This is your show, and you've been quiet.
Well, because y'all the black boys.
Yeah, man. The men came and took over AEN. That's all I'm saying.
Is that what it is?
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, right. This is my day off. I'm chilling.
Well, go ahead.
I worked on my birthday.
Everything and nothing with Yoshi and Simba.
Exactly. Everything and nothing with Yoshi and Simba. Yeah.
That's a great title.
Put our faces on the
right. Y'all can have it. I worked on my birthday, so I deserve to have the day off. Whatever. Well, what you want me to say? Oh wait, let me get my microphone fixed. Hold on.
Just talk.
Oh, he said just talk. Okay, so oddly enough, in what I do, I have not gotten and I guess it's because of what we're saying. I've not gotten any young black boys in with depression. Or old, for that matter.
Wow.
I have one black man that I'm seeing that admits that he is depressed.
You live in a happy city then.
Apparently.
Or just no black people.
Oh, no black people. No, they there. It's just, I don't know. They not coming like, now the women, I'm flooded with women. But the men still aren't there yet. Now, if we can get as many men in about some mental health issues as they getting in the chair to get pedicures, we'd be all right.
That is funny.
No, listen. Them thug boys out there getting them pedicures.
Going to therapy.
Right.
That is funny.
Yes, more are going to get pedicures than they are getting therapy. I promise you.
Well, that's self care. So that's the first part.
Yeah.
We're feeling good about ourselves.
That's some physical, and I am glad. Although the one sitting next to me still claims he wouldn't do it, and I don't know why.
That's a real one right there.
Whatever. Don't encourage him.
Because I'm a man, goddamn.
You better not put your feet in no water, man.
What the hell?
So you can't get your toenails clipped?
I clip my toenails at the house.
You don't do it, but I bet you don't do it right.
I don't do it right. Okay, I take the clipper, I clip, the toenail comes off.
It's a professional way to do it. Whatever. Get your toes worked on. But so I don't come in contact with it. But I agree with what both of you guys said about why and why it happens as early as it does. I'm thankful to your grandmother, Simba, for what she did for you, making sure that you went to therapy. But how many out there whose moms died when they were 7 years old that didn't go?
Right.
And then they got in trouble in school, and now they probably in jail, and don't nobody know until way long after the fact, oh, that boy mama died when he was 7.
Right.
When they getting out of jail. So I do believe that it's the pressure that our black boys experience to just breathe, to be able to breathe air in this society.
Right.
And I think that we need to do something about it. It needs to be a conversation among all entities. In my meetings that I have at work, being the only black therapist in my office, mind you, I need to talk to my counterparts about it. Like, we need to discuss these situations and these issues and be prepared for black boys to come to us, whether they come or not. It needs to be a conversation. Because in this article, it says, what can we do to reduce depression-related health disparities in boys and men of color? Well, basically what it's saying is there needs to be a conversation. Teachers need to take continuing education courses on cultural bias and depression. Yes, they do.
Right.
Definitely need to do it every single year. That needs to be a requirement. Is it, Mr. English? Do y'all take cultural bias?
No, it's not required. It's not required.
Clinicians, that would be me.
You saying it like it's his fault,
right?
Yeah, she done threw me under the bus.
I'm gonna need you to do something about that. You got a black principal. I'm gonna need y'all to get it. Yeah.
Hey, listen, Mr. Lewis is doing all he can. I didn't mean to shout him out, but
do some more. Okay. So it says clinicians, that's me, need to stay up to date on best practices and working with racial, ethnic minority boys and men to make sure that they're not missing the signs of mental illness. Well, I'm having to re-up CEUs right now. I have not come across any training that says that it's a racial, ethnic minority boys, blah, blah, blah. I ain't seen nothing like that. Now, mind you, I guess I could head up something like that. Maybe that's the opportunity for me to do it. But the point is, it's not out there.
So is there no like outreach, something that where we can, just get young boys, even though they may not know or they might not want to enroll? Is there somewhere we can, it's like, hey, just this is a boy circle, or this is a young man's group or something?
Well, not for me necessarily, because I work for a hospital, and the primary focus of our work is providing employee assistance to the employees of the hospital. We do see people in the community, but we're not, it's not the kind of thing where we can kind of go out there and solicit. Like, we kind of got to stay stuck to the hospital.
Right. You're just referrals. Right.
Exactly. Just based on referrals. And that's really it. Yusuf, on the other hand, has some leeway with that and is actually working towards something with starting a mentoring program.
That's beautiful.
So,
you need it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I mean, once I'm able to step out there and do this thing the way that I want to do it, I will be able to do something like that.
Right.
So it's just a matter of getting out there. But it's definitely, it starts with people like us, with what you're doing, with what Yusuf is doing, in my profession, it starts with people like us. If it's not going to be done at home, then when we see it, we need to do something about it.
Yeah,
definitely. And I'm the only child. So when my mother passed, it was just me.
Yeah.
So I needed me, when I was that age.
Yes.
I needed someone like me to, look after me, to just, hang out with me and talk to me.
Right. Did you have someone? Did you have it?
No.
And
that's why in these positions now that I'm able to do it. I have a little bit of money. I could take the young man out to the movie, go hang out with him, just make sure that he's good.
Oh. Wow. So you didn't come across any coaches, teachers, or anything? Just grandma?
I didn't have a male teacher until 9th grade.
Wow.
I didn't have a male black teacher until 11th grade.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we don't really exist.
Yeah, I know. Very few and far between.
Yeah.
Very few.
So we need to do something about that too.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that I got my certification so that I could get in, so I could work from the inside out, because I knew it was tough to get a classified position. But I also got my certification in an area where I knew I could always have a job. I'm a black man who teaches English. At the end of the day, I'm not, unless I mess with a student or I mess with the money, I'm gonna keep my job. Right. So they can't afford to pull me off the quota. But at the end of the day, and then on top of that, man, I just like the fact, like, that's the reason why I always wear a suit and tie to work every day, is because I want those young men to see me in that particular sense, in that outlook, where they go, when they see me dressed down, they go, "Oh man, Coach E, no shirt and tie today." But I want them to see that it is achievable. It is something that you can do. You can get dressed every day in business attire and come in and impart knowledge onto young men and change. You can go ahead and change. You can go ahead and change the world if you one student at a time, and that's how I take it. So I love what I do. It is a lot of bureaucracy and stuff that I have to do to remain in the classroom, but I don't think I'd rather be doing anything else. That's how much I love what I do. So I think we're gonna go ahead real quick. That was a very, 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 very great conversation. I think we got real deep there. I think we got real deep. We're gonna go ahead and bust another commercial out, and we'll be right back after these messages from the DefyLife Podcast Network.
Are you starving for comics? Do you covet the classics or the newest copies of our favorite comics? Ooh, that All-Star Superman, Watchmen, and Remember the Sandman? Heroes and Dragons can remedy that. They've been around for more than 30 years with a homegrown family atmosphere. Who's doing it like that? Marvel, DC, collectibles, toys, it doesn't matter. They have what you want. Go see them. Ask for York. Heroes and Dragons, located at 1807 Bush River Road, Columbia, South Carolina. Tell them DefyLife sent you.
And we are back. Make sure you go ahead and visit Heroes and Dragons over there. Dope place to get you some great comic books, but we're going to go ahead and get to the last segment of the show.
All right, lighten up the mood a little bit.
Lighten up the mood. We got a little deep there. But go ahead and let's lighten up the mood with a little bit of This Ain't Got Nothing to Do with Nothing.
This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
I love it.
Nah, so cute. Now, Simba, in case you didn't know, those are our kids on that.
It's so cute.
And but anyway, but this
Babies. I love the babies. I love my baby.
Simba, I'm gonna need you to bring it back on this side of the line, okay?
Simba, come stay over here with me. Simba love the kids. Simba love the
kids. But we're gonna what this segment is basically is it's just random ass thoughts that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. So
that's my life.
Yeah, we're gonna start.
Right.
We start with Lynn. Lynn, what is your?
And I'll just tell you real quick, Simba. This came from literally Kim and I calling each other, sis. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But
right.
such. I mean, literally phone calls. Some of those 17 phone calls were literally that, and that would be what we say. So we turned it into a segment. And
okay,
yeah.
so what's
this ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Okay,
Y'all, okay. Clearly, I was sleepy this morning. Because when you left, I went back to sleep. And y'all ever had experience the thing when you sleep and you're trying to wake up and you can't?
Yeah. So you start blinking hella tough. And you like,
yes!
I know I'm trying to wake up, but I can't do it.
But no, I felt myself trying to open my eyes and I couldn't. My eyes were like they were glued shut. I could not open my eyes. And I don't know if the kids came in the room or not, or if I was dreaming, but you know, the country people say that's the hag on your back. Y'all know about that?
I never.
Simba, you know about that?
I can infer.
The witch riding your back or the hag on your back. That's what they say that is. That is literally this spiritual being holding you down. Mm-hmm. And you get, but I experienced that today and it was crazy because there were times where I thought I opened my eyes, but then I realized later that I think I was dreaming.
No, okay.
But I was really trying to open my eyes and I couldn't. And it was very scary. And I was trying to talk and I couldn't talk.
You just had a lot going on this morning.
I really did. And I was just like, what is going on? But that happens when you're really tired.
Yeah. Well, you must have been tired. Edison came in there and woke you up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, we had the whole middle of the night thing going on.
And that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. What you got there, Simba?
Oh my gosh, I gotta follow that.
Yeah, you gotta follow that.
You gotta say this.
You gotta start with this. Ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
This ain't got nothing to do with nothing, right? But I'm gonna need y'all to listen to the Best Med Pod diagnosis on like that.
Well, that's what you do. That's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you're supposed to do it.
That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
That ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just saying.
Simba, that's all you got?
Yeah. That's all I got, man. That's all he got.
Oh. But I got another one.
Go ahead.
This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Although I think it does have something to do with something, and I'm gonna figure it out. People, Simba, listen.
Yes.
For the 4th birthday in a row.
Oh God.
I have broken a shoe on my birthday.
Oh, you been turned.
No, this was before it turned.
Your ankles was turned.
Your ankles was turned.
Simba, listen. No. I need you to follow me. Okay?
Where are we going?
The first year, follow me.
We ain't going there. You hobbling.
We wobbling down these 4 years.
Okay.
The first year, I was in New York, and I went to the 21 Club for my birthday.
Mm-mm.
Me and Yusuf, 21 Club, where I almost fell asleep in the restaurant. I don't know. But anyway, when we left, my shoe bust. Just, cute little stiletto shoes. I'm stepping.
Diane Williamson.
And all of a sudden, there was no shoe on the left side. So I'm hobbling to the car. We in New York. It probably ain't no short walk. I don't remember, but it probably wasn't a short walk to the car. So that was a hot mess. So I was like, oh, busted shoe, whatever. Okay, second year, I was at work. So I was not turned at work at the alcohol and drug abuse place. So there was no turnt going on.
So you say.
I didn't need it to be. Because I was at work on my birthday, and I never do that. But old heifers wouldn't work for me. But anyway, we'll talk about that another day. I had on some flat, regular sandals. Sandal broke while I was at work on my birthday. Last year, I went to eat with the girls just like I did this year. I'm walking through the parking lot, and all of a sudden, my shoes start flapping. Another cute stiletto heel, and the damn whole bottom of the shoe came off. And I was just like, what is going on? This is the 3rd year in a row. So this year, I get my shoes ready. I call them my little hooker shoes. It's another cute stiletto heel. I'm tugging and pulling on every little piece of the shoe before I put it on. Like, we ain't gonna have no shoe accidents this year. I get the shoes on. I step on to my little dinner. I'm cute. I'm standing up, I don't know, saying something to the people. And I look down, and the goddamn shoe was popped. I don't understand.
Can I give you a diagnosis?
Yeah, please.
Just wear socks.
Oh shit.
Just wear socks.
Just put on socks. That's it.
Well, I did say to
put on
to
some
the
house
folks,
slippers.
Right. I did say that next year on my birthday we're going to the beach. We just won't wear no shoes.
Just no shoes. We just
no shoes. I don't understand. Anyway, that ain't had nothing to do with nothing,
Nah.
but it is plaguing me. I am having an issue with this.
Yeah.
I feel because every year it's been on my birthday.
Yeah.
I have a
We'll
problem
see.
with
We'll see about next year. We'll see what happens next year.
We'll see what happens. Okay. What you got, Yosh?
Okay. Well, this ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but the champagne account is depleted.
What does that mean?
What is the champagne account? Okay. I believe everybody should have a champagne account. And the champagne account is just money that you just put to the side to do just extra stuff. So whatever your vice is, my vice is a little bit of drinking. So
Thursday.
I like my Hennessy. Just straight up. I don't want nothing in it. So that's my champagne. So I got put the little money to the side to buy a bottle every now and then. Went ahead and had to buy a new car. So the champagne account has been depleted.
Oh Lord, R.I.P. to him.
Good.
And
it is empty.
Yeah, the bar is empty. I got a bar in the studio, and the bar has no bottles on it.
None.
Oh, poor baby.
Yeah, poor baby. Wine glasses, no wine on the rack. Yeah, you know what I mean? The flag, got 3 flasks over there, ain't nothing in there, one of them.
I'm okay with it.
I checked last night.
I'm okay with it.
Now, a parent did hook me up, said, well, for all the help you did with my son, I'm going to bring you a gift. And she brought me a 5th of that hen dog.
Oh,
Lord.
She looked out for your boy with the lack of a champagne account. So shouts out to you. You know who you are. She does listen to the show. So
my show?
Yeah, she listens to anything, everything, and nothing.
Hey, girl.
Yeah, we ain't gonna put a name out there like that because the other parents don't know she done brought me a bottle of hen dog. But
hey, girl, hey, thank you for listening.
All parents should give us Hennessy.
At the end of the year, after dealing with their damn kids, that don't listen half the damn time.
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all have it.
But anyway, run the screen. Run the screen. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to run this play. I'm just gonna shoot the ball. God damn it. But yeah, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Put a bow on it. Call it an evening or a day.
Sister is hungry.
Or morning. I guess over there with you would be early afternoon, Simba.
Yeah, Simba, it's 4:28 over here.
Yeah, I still got the rest of my day.
You do. Damn.
Shoot, I got to go cook for my homeboy Josh. I got to go cook wings for him now for his birthday. We going over to a little kickback he having.
I'm hungry now.
So I gotta. So since she's hungry, I have to cook burgers before we leave, and then when we get there, we gonna eat wings. But
something like that.
Simba, go ahead and bless the people with your where they can follow you on social media. Of course, they can catch you on GoDefyLife.com starting September 5th. Before that, you can catch up on his old shows on SoundCloud and Spotify. Just type in Best Med Pod or the diagnosis and it would come up. So as far as your social media, go ahead and drop that and any shout outs you want to give.
Everything Best Med Pod. It's your man Simba Roar back in this thing one more time, bruh. Everything Best Med Pod. I googled myself a few weeks ago and I was like, hey,
there you go.
So yeah, Best Med Pod, BESTMEDPOD, because together we are all the best medicine. And yeah, Instagram, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere y'all got me, I'm with it. I want to give a shout out to Second Mondays. It's a dope open mic event out here in the Bay for Black creatives. Second Mondays on SoundCloud. On Instagram. I want to shout out Speak on It, another dope open mic poetry on Wednesday nights. That's just Speak on It, all one word. I want to shout out to all my family, man. If y'all listen to this, you my family, and I love you. And now DefyLife is my family, so I love all y'all.
All right, we love you too, fam. Now, I need you to start arranging this trip for us to come out to Oakland.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
We ready.
I know all the spots. My homegirl just came out here from New York, and she was like, I just want to go to all the black places. That's exactly what we did.
We're going to hold you to that now, Simba. We're going to hold you to that. We're going to hold you to that, all the black plot spots. That's what we're going with. That's all we want to hit.
Blacks.
The blackity blacks. That's all we want to hit. Lynn.
Yeah.
No, matter of fact, since it's your show, I'll give mine, and then you can finish it off. I just want to shout out to Simba and his new show coming to the podcast. I know we've said that time and time again here. We are ecstatic to have you on, and shouts out to you. Much success, and we're going to do our part to make sure that you become a household podcast, just like we've done with all the other shows on the network. So thanks for riding with us. We want to shout out the fam at DefyLife, as Kim would say. We want to shout out to our patrons. Our newest patron, Monique Pearson, platinum. No, I'm sorry, not platinum. She's a gold. She's a gold member, new member to the patron page. Remember, if you want to become a patron, visit www.patreon.com/DefyLife if you want to become a patron. And patrons have helped us do a lot of things. We had a back to school drive today. No, it's tomorrow. The back to school drive in Newberry is tomorrow. We'll be giving away book bags, school supplies. Man, I mean, it's going to be a really dope event out in Newberry. I think it's from 10 to 4, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me correct. So, other than that, I will leave it up to the great Lynn, of one half of Lynn and Kim. But although this is not your episode anymore, this is AEN with Simba and Yosh.
You can have it.
You're the visitor today.
Oh, is that what that is?
That's what that is.
You're our special guest.
You are our special guest.
Y'all ain't funny. All right. Thank y'all for joining us. Simba, thank you for coming.
Love.
And guys, y'all did a great job. Make sure, speaking of which, listeners, Kim has a bone to pick with y'all. Wait till she come back. She has a big bone. Email us at aen@godefylife.com. And Kim is about to get y'all. It got something to do with that email. aen@godefylife.com.
Oh, that's right. They was the listeners were supposed to email happy birthday Lynn's, right?
Shouts out to Siobhan, who gave me the happy birthday on Spreaker. I appreciate you.
Okay, and did y'all no emails from the listeners?
Let Kim.
I'm gonna let Kim get it. I'm gonna let Kim get them.
Let Kim have this.
You got some time, y'all. Y'all better get them in.
You better get them.
Because you know my sister can get crunk now.
Yeah, I know she can get crunk. I don't want to be on her bad side.
All right.
I try not to be on her bad side.
Scared of her.
And that was the first thing that they said to me. He was like, "Don't get on their bad side."
So
Kim is coming for y'all.
So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. It has been a pleasure, Simba, once again. And you got one more show to do on the network. So
getting around, huh?
Yeah,
we out here.
We out here, man. That's what you do. You promo yourself, man.
I know that's right.
So you hit the ground running. So definitely appreciate you once again. And this is the Anything, Everything, and Nothing podcast with Lynn and Kim, and we are
out.
Later.
Love.
All right, Simba.
That too.
Oh wow! What's up? Oh wow!
Welcome to the DefyLife Podcast. For in-depth, entertaining, often hilarious, always real talk about sports, culture, lifestyle, and current events, join us and become part of the movement. The DefyLife Podcast. New episode every Wednesday, everywhere your favorite podcasts are available. Brought to you by the DefyLife Podcast Network. This is DefyLife.